right from the heart and no
Yes.
BS. I love this group. So today, we're nearing the end, and today we're going to be talking about um, energy levels, and what does it mean? If you guys go out to the Facebook event page, I attached to that the energy chart, right, from the book Power versus Force, and it's really, really interesting. Maybe I'll share my screen. I'm not too sure how that's going to look here on Facebook, but I want people to kind of see just a couple of things that I think are interesting about this particular. Yeah, look at all my stuff.
Oh,
There we go. Right. So there was a time in my life where I was way down here, like fear, anger, and lots of grief. And what I find interesting about this chart, I love it because it gives us the life view. What do I think about life? What I'm feeling like emotionally, my God view, and so forth. But over here, my real rate of happiness. Look at how unhappy I was when I was living for years, decades maybe, in this field. And I didn't even know I was miserable. But man, when I think about what my body felt like, my body knew I was miserable, right? And then I got to, oops, we don't want to do that. Get back here. I just want to get back up a little bit. I got to, maybe courage, the neutrality, maybe. But I actually got to the point where I didn't want to be angry anymore, right? And I was really in the middle of a bunch of crap when I just decided I didn't want to be angry anymore. And so I did a lot of work. And yes, it takes courage, which is the next one, to get out of here because it's hard. It's hard to get out of these emotions that are right in the genes, the issues in the tissues, Sheila, right? My body knew, but I didn't know, right?
yeah.
But as I started to work on facing my demons, if you will, I look at the rate of happiness
Hmm.
started to change. And I know my experience was when I got to about maybe 68, 70%, I think I stayed there for a while. But then getting up to, and I would say that I'm in peace and enlightenment a good portion of the time, a good portion of the time, and absolutely joy, if nothing else. Look at
Yeah.
my rate of happiness, right? And so, why would we not want to start paying attention to our energy levels? So, I'm going to stop sharing that and just ask based on experience, what you have felt, what you have experienced in your lives when it comes to these energy levels. What are your thoughts? And I'm going to start with Sheila and then go to Sandy. So, Sheila, what are some of your thoughts around energy is everything?
I absolutely love it now. The vibration that I'm in and moving forward from the past into the vibration that I'm in right now. I absolutely love it. It is a warm feeling, a comfortable feeling, and it just resonates with my whole life now. It resonates with me.
How
It's who I am.
resonate. It's who we
Yes.
all are. It's who we're all supposed to be. And maybe
Res-
we'll get a chance to get there. Yeah.
I feel the connective, the consciousness collectiveness, the coherent collectiveness of others in the same frequency.
Yes. Yes. And I want to touch on something before we get to you, Sandy. Um, Thank you, Sheila, for introducing me to this particular YouTube channel. It's Erin, the consciousness,
Yes, Erin consciousness, yes.
right? Yep. And she was talking about the noise that is in the
In your
cosmos
head.
right now.
Oh,
And it's
yes.
our noise. It's our noise. getting louder and louder. Now, I don't know if that's what that means, but she's just saying that you can see the frequency of the human noise, the human energy expanding on that frequency. It's just it's beautiful watching it.
And I think you can think of it two ways. You can think of it in the old ways and the new ways. The old ways, hearing the noise in the background with all those that are resisting, and then also hearing the ones that are standing in the power, the collectiveness. So,
Regardless.
right, exactly.
Right,
So, two different ways of noise, if you want to look
right,
at it.
right, right. And so, Sandy, when we talk about energy and what does that mean? What are your thoughts?
Well, I grew up in a household where there was equality between husband and wife, or male and female. And a percentage was always talked about with realization that look at the scale. If you're happy more than 50% of the time, you can stick with it and increase that happiness. But if you're not happy, under the 50%, you have to make a major adjustment. And thank goodness those positive thoughts and the realization that I was in control of what makes me happy or what happiness I lean towards. And mine was storytelling and communication. And
Mhm.
I connected to spirit when I was maybe 52, 53. And even approaching my last birthday, 76, something happened and I was not happy about it until I realized that 76 trombones and the big parade was going to be coming down the street. So it changed my whole way of looking at business. It really is only a number. We are mortal beings. Well, spirit using this body just to bang around for a while. And that's what we have to deal with. So I try diligently to pay attention to where my head is. I escape a lot. I go visit friends and get out of this house with a 97-year-old mother who's hard of hearing, and my husband who's been my husband for over 55 years. And we're not going to go into that. Um, but it's what you look at. It's what you focus on. And if you're focusing on sadness, turn around. You are absolutely able to do the spin, to turn around and make an adjustment. So I preach that quite a bit to anybody that wants to listen to me again. And I always enjoy the phone calls with you.
I love you. I love you. You know, one of the thoughts that came to my mind recently was this whole human experience. You know, the soul choosing to be here, the energy source choosing to be here, choosing to separate itself, not to disengage, but kind of like Gumby, right? Separate itself. And how much effort it takes to maintain this three-dimensional avatar. It's exhausting. It's exhausting while we're here. Can you imagine how exhausting it is? So, this experience is a sacrifice in order for us to expand. So, I look at it as a gift that I was chosen to play this role this time. And so I'm going to enjoy every moment of it and make sure my frequency is as high as it can be so that I reap every benefit. Right. So Yanko is a hypnotist and so much more. What are some of your thoughts? Because you work with energy all the time.
Well, I'm kind of in, I think a balance, not, going the one way or the other too much. Always find the middle ground for me because,
You're a little bit muffled, Yanko.
okay, let me see if that Is that better or?
That sounds, speak more than 2 words and I'll let you know.
Okay. So, long story short, when I went into bliss for quite a bit, when I sat and meditated, I figured that there's nothing going on in the bliss. You're full and complete. And but at some point, I felt kind of like wanting to have something else to oppose to, kind of come down a little bit.
It's boring. Say it.
I know.
Yeah.
All the fun is happening here. So I'm thinking, we come down here to have fun and to experience both polarities. So we know have some kind of uh, fun or something that, because you can't know joy if you don't know suffering or pain. And same thing with love and hate. If you go the one way too much, then you forgot what the other thing means. And this human experience gives me the ability to be able to um, feel both.
And to be able to turn around, right?
Yes,
Like Sandy
yes.
said, just turn around, right? I think I know I've made too much out of my stories. I made them too important for a very long time. And they're not important. They're just a story. And we'll talk a little bit about the energy of that. I want to say hello, Jennifer, and thank you for joining us. What are some of your thoughts on all of this? You're on mute, honey, just to let you know. Yeah.
I was coughing, so I didn't want to disturb you. Um, I just think it's interesting because I more and more ask up there. I ask more now than I've ever done, just for not confirmation, but kind of like it's a conversation. And something happened today that there was an outcome that could have been awful for my husband and I. It could have been a really horrible outcome from something that is just self-inflicted. So it's can't blame anyone, nobody's fault, but it's happened. And I did something today which is very unusual because instead of getting upset and fearful and worried and angry and all the things I was feeling upset about, to him, he wasn't here actually, he was driving a cab in London. But the fact is, I would still have been angry. I decided to do some tapping to calm me down because that's what works for me. So I was doing just the breath work and, just calming myself down, knowing I can't change anything. I can't interfere with the people on the other end and what they're going to say. We don't know. I started just to send lots of love to these people and the situation and to Leon. And I also got Leon to do some tapping because, of course, he lives with me. He's got no choice, has he? Tap along. It's good for you. It was really helpful. It was so helpful today because he was really struggling with this outcome. It turns out great, but before he even told me how it turned out, I was dowsing. Is this going to be okay? Wow, yes, it is. Yes, 2 crystals I was doing. It was going to be okay. So when he called me to say it was okay, I knew it was okay. But what I really loved about the energy today is I did not allow myself to get caught up with something that could, and in the past would have been such a big worry for me. The disaster road I would have gone down, and the anger and the pain. And this was, I had no way was I using any energy up today on this. I had other things to do. So I completely let it go.
I love that. And Jennifer, what just came to mind is, and this has been a recent phenomenon of mine. It's not a phenomenon, but we spend energy. We say that word and have not ever attached meaning to what that language is telling us. We're here with $1,000, and every day we spend $1. Now we can
Yep.
spend the dollar on healthy foods, or we can spend the dollar on dope. We're spending the dollar any way we want, and that's the energy, right? And so what happens, at least to me, so I don't want to be too general, but for me, I was really fighting waking up a good portion of my young adult life, let's put it that way, because I had many instances where miracles happen. I mean, I healed people. I did an exorcism of a home. I did lots of stuff in my 20s and early 30s, and then I pretended they didn't happen and went on with my life, right? And it really wasn't until I got so angry, and that's what I was talking about, so wrapped up in anger, so identifying with anger that I couldn't stand myself, that I finally said, this has got to stop. And I am the common denominator. I am
Always.
responsible, right? And I think that accountability of our energy, right? Someone triggers me, that's not their fault. That's my fault. I've got the trigger.
Well, you know what? I always try now to say it's nobody's fault because it's not. There's no fault attached to anything. It's their feeling the way they are. They're trying to project it on you because then they'll feel better, and you've got it, but you don't have to accept it. It's like a hot potato going around the room. Throw it back, put it on the floor. Don't pick it up. It's learning to smile, almost not in a ridicule way with them, but just let them get on with it. There's no way you're going to use your energy on that, not even yours.
It's a
Use your
waste.
energy
I'm
on
spending
you.
my money on them, not on
And
me. Yes,
they are grateful because they want to get rid of it. And there you are, a willing, unwilling participant in taking it on. And then they walk away.
yes, yes. And the whole blame and the whole shame,
Blame,
back
yeah, blame.
in, I
Yeah.
want to say 20, I would say 13 to 14. I was doing contract work, and the gentleman that I was working with, he was a new manager, had a new team, which meant these were all people given to him. He didn't hire. And he had a really bad apple. That he had some great people and one really bad apple, right? And that gentleman was all about blame.
Mm.
And I created a training. I called it the blame game, right? For the team to talk about here are the signs of blame. Here's what it does to you, never mind what it does to the business. And here's what you
Mm.
can do if you so choose. Of course, this gentleman did not so choose. And the next conversation was with his boss to help him get the intestinal fortitude to fire someone, right? Right. But again, it's all energy. And because we're all empaths at some level, whether we accept it or not, the energy's you walk in the room, you can feel the energy in the room. You're an empath.
Definitely.
And so if
Definitely.
you're working with someone or if you're around someone who has negative vibes for a long time, like day in and day out, day in and day out, it is going to impact you. I don't care how good you are at blocking, it's going to impact you. And so you need to make a decision on how you're going to manage that,
Mm.
right? Sometimes just getting away every day for an hour or two is enough for you to
Mm.
breathe and center yourself and get grounded again.
Yeah.
Sometimes the divorce is what you need. It
Yeah.
depends on how strong that energy is, right? So, Sandy, what are you thinking of all of this?
Well, you're right on. I mean, I'm sitting near my plants and crystals, and I just leaned over and picked up one to remember that someone told me once to just open the door to see what you get, because I can be stubborn, and I just want to be me. Don't tell me what to do. I
Mhm.
think the realization that you can decide. Let them talk, show you the door, and you can decide whether you're going to walk through it. So I thank you for that.
You're welcome. Sandy's talking about an event that she was at, and she is definitely someone who I think your whole life you've been receiving, you had a direct line open, and she closed the door. She didn't close the door. She basically like, go away, I don't want to talk to you, right? And right, you don't run my life, I run my life. And now she's like, okay, what are your suggestions?
Yeah, it's a little easier.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier. So what are your thoughts, Sheila?
Say that again.
Your thoughts on all of this?
Well, I think that you have a choice either way to be in it or not. That's the
Right.
whole key of actually using discernment in the whole situation. Kind of, you can feel the whole situation, what's going on. It's not about blame at all, and it's about how you perceive things and how you look at things, and not blaming other people, but also going with inside and taking responsibility for yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah, and for me, one of the things that I had to do a lot of work on is the triangle of the trilogy that's the victim, the savior, and the perpetrator. Because I played all three. I played them quite well,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And when it dawned on me that I was in that rut, it was not easy getting out. It took a lot of intention, a lot of focus on where is my energy and where's my thought going right now? And is this the outcome that I want? Right. So, it takes work, guys, and it takes the willingness to do the work. And so, Yanko, your sound was much better. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, I'm thinking that everyone's responsibility for their own energy and how they take care of their own energy. Um, and one point you just now, it should deplete it, or like it's like anything else in life, finding the balance. It's the key, and you always have the choice to get out of a situation or stay in the situation because it runs both ways. My observation is that there is negativity that might affect you, but if you're centered in your happiness or whatever, that affects the person on the other side. So sometimes they have no choice. Either they leave or they change and their vibration changes. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Those situations present themselves. How can I put this? Because we choose them to present themselves. So one of my beliefs, and this has really changed a lot about my life. All right, so I believe that as an energy source, part of source up there,
Mhm.
I decided, okay, I'm going to come down and I'm going to do that thing. I will do that. So let's write the script. And here are the things that are going to happen in order for me to wake up. So the challenges that I create in my script were created so I get a smack in the head and I wake up. So that means I'm responsible for everything that happens in my life.
100%.
100%
100%.
responsible.
Yeah.
And if I can own that responsibility, I look at it, my perspective is not of anger or disgust or hate or shame or any of those other things that I have felt in my time, but of curiosity. Why would I do this? Why would I write this? What's the wake up call I'm looking for in this scenario that I wrote? And it changed my life when I do that. Sometimes Sheila has to remind me. She does.
We help
I
each other,
mean,
remind each other. That's why you need to be in connection with like-minded people
Right.
all the time, and then also see our own traps that we make for ourselves, our old behaviors, our old thoughts, and say, well, wait a minute, is that really resonating with me now? It's like, no, that's the way I used to think. So now I need to change my perspective
Right.
and look at it differently. Yeah.
Yep. Or, okay, this is coming up again. Certainly not in the same way, certainly not vibrationally, frequency, not as powerful. And it certainly doesn't take me down that rabbit hole down at the bottom of the scale, but it still presents itself again. Right.
Mhm.
So this is presenting itself differently, but still presenting itself. So what is it that I need to do about me? That, what is it telling me about me that I still have to work on, or that yeah, right, to still wake up? It's a mirror. It's a mirror, right? And it doesn't matter to me anymore what other people feel or think about me, because believe me, I fly with dragons. They think I'm out of my mind. Good. Good, right? It's my frequency, and I can just observe others without being pulled in. Right,
Absorbing,
Sheila? Yes.
serve without absorbing. Yes, you
Yeah.
got it, girlfriend. You
Yep.
got it.
Yep. Yep. So it's like Einstein riding a light sunbeam to figure out how fast. I mean, come on, you talk about imagination. M squared three, he riding on a sunbeam. You don't think people thought he was crazy? He was brilliant. And so I'll just ride on my dragon and observe, right? Right. So we have a couple of more minutes. Any last thoughts from any of you? How about you, Sandy? Any last thoughts before we wrap up?
Oh, I'm just glad I connected on the call. I'm looking at the snow stuck on the tree, but I'm nice and warm in my house. So life is good at the moment.
Awesome. Fantastic. And Sheila?
It's wonderful. Uh, yes, it's snowing out beautifully outside, and I'm nice and warm inside with a nice hot cup of tea.
Oh,
I'm
beautiful.
all's
Yep.
well.
I'll be joining you ladies Saturday in that weather. Yanko, you're on mute,
I'm
baby.
just kind of, I'm glad that you guys let me vibe with you today. That's my first time, and hopefully next time I'll be able to be on camera. So I'm grateful for you all. That's pretty much all I gotta add.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. And Jennifer, I'm glad you popped in. And Tina read what Tina has to say when you're done. Your last thoughts, Jennifer.
Okay, so it's lovely to see you again, Sheila. We met
Mm.
a couple of weeks ago,
Yes, we
didn't we?
did,
It was
and some
lovely.
of the Mrs. Potts, yeah.
Yeah, and lovely to be here. I've got a lovely saying I picked up the other week, and it said, "You're right." Oh, yeah, that's it. I think you're right.
I think you're right.
I say you might be right.
Yep,
You,
same thing. I think you're right. You might be right. Not you are right. I think you're right. End
it's
of conversation. End of story. No one's going to come back and say, what, I'm right. That it's not, it's gone. It's a great way of somebody who is obviously trying to get you to take on their energy and you don't want to. Just say,
yeah,
yeah, I think you're right. And walk
Okay.
away. I always think we can walk away, we can walk away. I mean, I was taught when I was young, it's rude to walk away. But in a way, when you say, I think you're right, I'm just off out.
I love it. Rude to walk away. So Tina says awareness helps us to stand in our power, seen from a higher level of clarity to align with our authenticity and integrity. Force to me is pushing your perspectives onto someone else who may not be ready to see what you see or just not interested to align with you. The wisdom is knowing the difference. Lovely conversation, ladies and gentlemen. So
Thank you.
see, so
Wonderful.
Tina
Thank
was
you.
able to join us even though she's not physically here. So one last wrap up. Feel your body, right, Sheila? It's in your body. You can feel the tenseness, the heartbeat. You can feel the clench in your fist. You can feel the clench in your jaw. You see the expression on your face. Hear that little voice in your head. Listen to your body because that's where the energy is stored and that's where the trigger happens. Everything is energy, and so are we. And we are so powerful. Thank you,
Absolutely.
everyone. Power
Thank
versus
you.
force is
Bye.
awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.